Hello, hello, crafty friends. I am back. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be able to create with you this evening. It seems like I've been gone for a whole long time. Let me adjust everything here. Whew. It's been a while. Goodness gracious. How's everybody doing? Did you guys have a great week and a good weekend? I'm trying to pull us up on my iPad while I'm chatting with you. I have had a blast. It's been so much fun, and I will tell you more while we create. Whew. I feel like I've been just running and running and running. Hello, Danette. How are you? The last 2 days have been really busy for me, but I've been driving a lot. But let's get to the crafting part, and I'll chat with you, and we'll go ahead and turn you down. We've got a set of coasters that we've started. Oh, I didn't flip my camera. Let's see if I can flip it. I can't flip it. Hey, Sherry. I would like to leave it this way anyway. This one says blessed. This one says gather. Yeah, gather. This one says farmhouse. And this one says family. So we're going to create on the back side of these. On 2 of them, we're going to put this beautiful napkin. And on the other 2, we are going to put a transfer. These lily transfers that are out of the Lamb and Lilies pack from Essential Stencil. And just look how adorable these lambs are. I didn't want to put just the lamb on here because I didn't want it to be just for Easter. Thank you, Carlene. Hello. Yes, I am so glad to be back. This little guy would almost fit on here. Let's see. There's another little one, and there's 2 other little ones on there. So you could put these and make a little Easter set. I got to make sure I keep them in the right direction. We're going to do the painting first. We are going to add this one to one of them. To 2 of them. I can't even talk. I feel like I'm off. Can you guys see okay? Which paint do you want to use? And I bought some Dixie Belle while I was gone. I am going to turn the Dixie Belle upside down so you can see the colors. Oh, thank you, Carlene. And 2 of them is going to have that napkin. So which color? The light green or the darker one? This is thickened and this is Farmhouse Green. It is thickened, right? Yeah. So which one? The Farmhouse Green is the light one, thickened is the darker one, and it'll coordinate with this napkin. Oh, we had a blast. I loved it. So tell me, which one? The light green. I have a vote for the light green. You can see fine good. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm probably going to make a big mess. I tried to have this done already, but that didn't happen. Right before I came on, I was going to come up a little bit early so that I could go ahead and get things ready. Right before I came on, I had a little nosebleed. Not much, just a little one. But that just kind of threw everything off. And I'm like, great. All right. Let me get a little tool here to pick this up. And then I can stir it up. Get a little stir stick. Since this is chalk paint, all the chalk has settled on the bottom from traveling and things. So I have to stir it up pretty good. And that's what I was trying to get done already before I came up. And if your chalk paint ever dries up, just add a little bit of water to it and reactivate it. If it is too dry, you won't be able to do that. Actually, I did, the leaves do not look bad on that dark background. I've pulled the sticky back and laid it on there just to see what it would look like. I'm trying to stir this up real quick. I should have had this done, and I do apologize for that. But it is getting there. So, for those of you that might not know, I was in Louisiana for a creative revival retreat. I feel like I'm off. And it was amazing. The atmosphere, the Christian atmosphere in that place was amazing. We had about 80 ladies. We had several guest presenters and a little marketplace outside with 3 vendors that had set up, all small businesses that gave demos. One of them was woodworking, one of them was mosaic, and the other one was chocolate. And it was just fun to see all the different creative ways. Did I miss anybody? How people can see how it is reconstituting itself. It is getting better. You just got to stir it up. And that's a good learning point if you have a can that maybe sat on the shelf for a while. You forgot that you had it and you need to do something with it. Or if it got hard, just put a little bit of water in there. And if it is barely liquidy on the top, just stir it up like I'm doing right here. And it will just come right back to life. And the napkins we will put on with Mod Podge, let it dry, and then we will use the iron method with the parchment paper. Yes, hey Becky, I was so glad that he was able to go, and he done really, really well. He met a couple of guy friends, and they hung out, and it was just really, really, really good. It done both of us good. But Friday, I drove, not in one way, but I drove about 8 hours with breaks in between and lunch and stuff. And it was unintended, but we end up being at the hotel at around 11 o'clock. One of them, on one of the hotels that we wanted to go to, they did not have room. They had... we went Gulfport, Louisiana. We ate there, and we went across the street to a hotel. And first of all, the one hotel that we wanted to stay at, we couldn't get to it, and the review said that it was very hard to get to. So we are like, we cannot find how to get to this hotel, even with GPS. And it was already later in the evening, and, you know, I was already getting tired, but not too tired to continue to drive. So we went to another hotel, and they said, all the hotels here are booked out at a spring break. And that was in Gulfport, Mississippi. And I'm like, oh, great. So she said, you're going to have to go to at least Biloxi in order to find a hotel room. Well, I was thinking, I was like, well, Biloxi is still a beach town. or a vacation town. I was like, they're not going to have anything. So we drove all the way through to Mobile, Alabama before we got hey, Michelle, before we were able to find a place to stay the night. And it was like 11 o'clock. So my husband did not get his dialysis treatment that night. We are allowed to miss so many treatments. So I was like, I'm okay. We okay. He's been doing really good. So like one treatment is not gonna, be detrimental. So he missed that treatment. And then Saturday we were going home, and we went, it was like a little over 9-hour drive to get home. So by the time we took breaks and we stopped at another place to look at something, and it was about 11 o'clock again before we got home. So I am going to do the sides in green, but I'm going to let that dry first so that I can hold it this way in order to put the green on the sides, because the green will match the back side. So I'm just a little tired today from all the driving, and we're hitting the road running. We've got a dialysis appointment tomorrow, watching Bristol Wednesday, and got another doctor's appointment on Thursday. So we're like, whew, talking about being thrown in the fire right off the bat. But it was worth it. Gosh, it was so worth it. It was amazing. The retreat, I don't even want to call it a retreat. It was literally like a revival. The atmosphere, the ladies, the friendships made. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. All the guest creators, we've made so many crafts, different ones. We watercolored one day. We made a little tulip with, what is it called? With bark flower pot with tulips in it. We made a spring with the bird nest and eggs. We done faux calligraphy. Let's see what else. I'm missing 2 more projects. Oh, we done a little lamb out from a kit. Let me dry that real quick. What else? Marshall, help me out. I cannot remember what else we did. We done so much. Yes, it was packed. I mean, there was a lot of things that we did. And for those that had not worked a scroll saw before, the gentleman had his scroll saw. We made a little phone holder. I mean, it was full packed. But we also had prayer. We had uplifting music, free time, amazing lunch, the groundswell, the church board. Yes, it's behind me. Let's see if I can, I don't know which side it is on. That church board back here, whoop, right there. My cross fell off in transport, so I have to glue my cross back on. But that was amazing. I'm like, there was so much. And we had amazing door prizes, and just the staff, the layout, it was just gorgeous. The grounds were amazing. It was so beautiful. Like I said, connections were made, and it was just amazing to meet so many creative people that were all like-minded, faith-based, that love the Lord. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot. So, and then of course, I had to go thrifting, found a few finds, which I'm going to post about over the next few days. And I learned a couple of other new things, and I fell in love with the watercolor. So we might have to do some watercolor things. So you guys are going to benefit from this. Like I said, I've learned a lot of new things, or how to imagine something in a different way. So we are going to try some things out. If you are new to me, I'm Ann. My page is Whimsically Knotted. And for those of you that don't know, my daughter and I were going to start something together, and then things didn't work out quite as planned. So we wanted to come up with a name that both of us would like. And she liked the whimsical part, which I did too. And I wanted the knotted part, because we were doing, at the time, crocheting and knitting and, you know, doing scarves and beanies. And I even made little doggy coats. Forgot what they were called. And small sewing projects, just things like that. And knotted is spelled K-N-O-T-T-E. And I'm thinking, you know, all those things have knots in them. But I also knew that eventually I was going to dabble. Yeah, I didn't want to leave either. In woodworking, do some wood signs and things like that. And I said, well, they have knots too. So hence, Whimsically Knotted, to work with both yarn, sewing, and wood. So that's where Whimsically Knotted came from. I'm located in North Carolina. And see, that green does work with the sides, and I might come back and do it a little bit darker. I am not going to paint the one where the napkin is going on, because the wood is already really light, and I am just going to leave it and not add color to it. But yeah, it was just amazing. The venue was amazing. It was in a wooded area. It had a, it looked like a little chapel. It was like an outdoor gazebo by a little pond. And when you walk down, it had pews on both sides. Well, hey, my friend, Miss Bonnie. Hey, Miss Becky. And it had a cross at the end, and it was like a white gazebo, brown cross. Oh, it was so beautiful. I'm going to have to post some pictures. Like I said, it was not just the crafting, it was the whole atmosphere. It literally felt like a revival. God was definitely in this adventure. And we had a napkin exchange. Several people bought a bunch of napkins. When I say a bunch to share. And Dixie Belle was one of the sponsors of this event. Jubilee Fabrics was a sponsor. All right, that looks good to me. Let's see, did I get all the sides on this one? Yep. So this color is called Farmhouse Green. And that's why I got the Dixie Belle paint. I fell in love with it. I've never used Dixie Belle before, but I fell in love with it. So that's where that came from. I bought it right there at the little shop called Rust Magnolias. And that dries really fast. I'm going to take my 120 paper and I'm just going to real quick like go over it. Just to smooth it out a little bit. Anytime you use paint on wood, it raises that grain up a little bit. And you want it smooth. So just a quick once over. And then it is always a good idea, especially if you have a bigger piece, to just wipe back that dust. I don't have much on mine. But if you think you've got dust on there, make sure that you get that off. Okay, this way and this way. How to make sure I got it right. And I put the words at an angle on purpose. First of all, they wouldn't have fit the other way. And I just kind of like it, having it a little bit different. Yes, it was amazing, Carlene. I did have a great time, Bonnie. And I also got to meet Miss Bonnie, and that was even more exciting than anything else. I purposefully drove through Mississippi on the way down so that I could meet up with her. And we had an amazing time. We ate at a really cool place. And instead of putting it on straight, I am going to angle it a little bit, maybe. Let's see. Should we angle it a little bit? Let me put you back down. Should we angle it or should we do it straight? I don't know. I might do it straight. I know I asked you and then I'm not waiting for your response. It just takes a little bit. This is a tool that you can use to put your transfer on. This one was a special edition for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. This is what they normally look like, and they are from Essential Stencil, just as the transfer is. I use a lot of the Essential Stencil transfers and stencils. I'm an ambassador with them. And they just came out with their new spring release, spring and Easter. And my word, they are amazing, amazing transfers and stencils in there that will transform your pieces. And on the next piece, I'll show you, if you have never worked with transfers before, on how easy it is. If you're not good in painting and you say, well, I cannot paint a thing, you could put a transfer on a piece of wood. You put it on glass. You could put it on, I know it was like we knew each other exactly for a lifetime. You could put transfers on metal, on plastic. You can even put it on fabric. You just cannot wash it. I have not figured out how to make it washable. I have not tried, put it that way. So I would not recommend washing it, but if you're going to make a little tag, man, it's bugging me that I cannot see you guys. There. I would just put it on get a little piece of fabric and write a word on it, or put a little bunny or something on there, and then you can add it as a tag to your decoration. But I have not tried to figure it out how to make it washable to where it will hold up. But the stencils, you don't even have to use fabric paint. You can use regular acrylic paint and use the stencils on your shirt, on tea towels, garden flags. The only difference between regular acrylic and acrylic fabric paint or the additives, it makes the paint softer, so when you have it on a shirt, it's not as stiff. But you could put it on canvas bags, your stencils or your transfers. Like I said, there's so many uses for these. And if any of you are interested in any of the things that Essential Stencil has out right now, like I said, they just launched a major right before I left spring and Easter collection. And if you do exclamation ES, yes, they are much prettier, but they are so vibrant. The colors, oh my gosh. But exclamation ES, and it will take you to the Essential Stencil page. And if you can use my link to get there, I've linked the spring and Easter bundles, and I have linked the Lamb and Lily's transfer that I've used today in the description. So you can hop over there and check that out via the link. If you want to save a little extra money, do exclamation mark code, and it will give you my code, which is WK21, and you're going to save a little bit of extra money. Who doesn't like saving just a little bit? Let's see, what else? I've been with Essential Stencil for a couple of years, but I have not been an ambassador for long. Maybe, what, a year or so? That might have been a little bit longer already. And I absolutely love it. Very good stencil. They are vinyl mylar stencils. They do not have the sticky back. Washable and reusable many times over. And the ambassadors with Essential Stencil go live every day of the week, Monday through Friday. And you will get tips, and they will show you how to use the new stencils and transfers that come out. And everybody has a new way of doing it. There is nothing on here, so everything transferred perfectly. And just look how pretty that looks. You have this on one side, and I've already put a coat. When I'm done with this, I'm going to put a coat of bright tone over this. It's a clear coat, and it's glossy so that you can use it as a coaster. You see the shininess on there? And that's what I'm going to put over here as well. And then that'll be the coaster, be ready to go. I'll put it on the edges. And then you can turn it this way, or you could turn it this way. Let's do this one real quick. It won't take long at all. Oh, I was going to tell you, for those that are new, you have 3 parts. You have the backer board. If you need to put it back on, use the shiny side. That is the dull side. This is the shiny side. If you need to put this back on, if you pulled it up and the phone rings and you need to talk to somebody, you could lay it back on here like this. This is the part that you could touch, the clear part where there is no print. This is your transfer print. If you touch this, it will come off. If you accidentally lay it down or something slides under the 2 layers, it will get stuck and you will not be able to rescue your transfer. So what I do is I hold it at my 2 points. I cut off as much as I can and still hold it. And then I just kind of hover over where I want it to lay. And I'm going to look, I'm like, this looks pretty good to me. And I let go on one side, put my finger in the middle, let the other side go, and then I most of the time push from the middle out with my hand, and then I just rub it in. The heat from your hands helps. And then I use my transfer tool and go over the whole thing. And be very careful with all these little parts right here. Make sure you rub them in really good so that they transfer. And then I go normally just from the outside in. I just rub on a section. Pick up your cover sheet or carrier sheet. And I put my finger under it and lightly lift it and rub. Lift it and rub, or burnish. A lot of people call it burnishing. And then I go to the next section and do the same thing. Just keep burnishing it. And then I just go around to all the areas. And that way I will end up back in the middle. Because if I go from here on at the end, I don't have nothing to hold it. And it might come off and something might not have transferred. So I always go around the whole edges and transfer everything on the edges first. If you feel resistance, like, see, I could pick it up and I have resistance, lay it down and burnish it a little bit more, and then it will peel back. If you peel back and you see something didn't transfer, lay it back down and push it back down. You just keep going little by little. You're going to the next section. And I like to use the edge or the whole part. And this evening, after I am done at 8 Central, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Sorry, the time change also whooped my butt because Louisiana is an hour earlier than we are. So it's Central Time and we are Eastern, and we had the time change. So coming back, I lost 2 hours. I aged a lot in that drive. But I was just glad that my husband was able to join me on this trip. And I always say making memories is important to me. You guys know I have stressed that so much. It was a blessing that he was able to go and enjoy himself and meet some of the fellas, the other husbands that came, and that they had a good time together as well. So that was wonderful. Do you have any questions about transfers, about essential stencil, about stenciling? I know we're not going to be stenciling tonight, but if you do stencil, make sure you have a flat tip brush. It has to be flat. like this. And essential stencil brushes have been restocked. I loved seeing you. Enjoy your dinner. As night meeting you too. I know, I've got several pictures of us together. Normally it's only him. But Essential Stencil got these brushes. There's one missing out of here. They are half, 5/8, 3/4, and 7/8. And those are really good for stenciling. You do not need a lot of paint on there. You load your brush and then you offload your brush so that you don't have much paint on there, because less is more. It is always better to put a second coat on if you want to intensify your color than to have one coat that is wet and it goes under your stencil and you have bleed. It is much easier to do a second coat than to fix a bleed. And there we have nothing on our transfer sheet. And even with these, I use my little 120 and I just go over it real quick. And there we have two beautiful transfers. And like I said, once we I put that coat on there, it'll be shimmery like this. And see, they will look good together. So you can do either side. I was making sure I had it laying the right way. We'll get us some Mod Podge on here. I put my Mod Podge in one of these condiment box. Yeah. Don't you like autocorrect? I appreciate you too. I just loved it because I told my husband, I said, we're going to have to go via Mississippi. I got to see Miss Bonnie. I'm just using a fan brush. My Mod Podge brushes are a little dirty. I haven't had time to wash. Make sure you get your edges. And when this Mod Podge dries, you just activate it with the heat from the iron. That's what activates your Mod Podge. Make sure you get all the edges. I'm bad about leaving the edges. But even if we do leave an edge undone, it is an easy fix. I got a good coat on here. Let that dry, and I'm just going to go straight on here. Make sure that you look and see if you have something that is directional, that you look and see which way your bottom part has to go, because I have made like a frame, a picture for a frame, and had the other side upside down. And I'm like, well, that ain't gonna work. So make sure you know which way the other side goes so you won't have it upside down. Another little tidbit, another little tip for you to use. And you can use, for the coasters, you can use decoupage paper, napkins, like I said, the transfers, and you can even do a word over top or on the bottom. There are so many different ways that you can use the transfers combined with the stencils. And I appreciate you hopping on, Becky and Danette. And if you are not following, please give me a follow. I would appreciate it. And sprinkle out the whimsy. Let others know about us here. And if you like what you see, spread it out. Let others know. I call it spreading the whimsy, and I call us the Whimsy Bunch. So we are the Whimsy Bunch. And I really love this napkin. That is so gorgeous. I cannot remember where I got it from. It was a big old napkin. That is just a little smither of it. While that one is drying, I can go ahead and use this one. Well, this one doesn't matter as much. I have this, I don't know if you can see it. This is the outside edge, and it's a little imprinted to keep the napkin together, and I've already removed the plies. I am not going to use this bottom part. I don't mind having this on there, but I don't want it on both edges. So I am just going to lay it on here to where move it down a little bit more. And that is the nice thing about having the Mod Podge dry. You can pick your napkin back up and look and see which way it is laying, and you will not have wrinkles. I don't mind wrinkles. I embrace wrinkles. But if you don't like wrinkles, this is the way to go. And I forgot to turn my iron on. While we wait on my little iron to dry, I'm going to go ahead and dry this a little bit more. And thank you for the stars, for sprinkling, for commenting. All of those things help out your favorite creators. And if you happen on replay, do hashtag replay. I would love to interact with you. I would love to know what you think. And for those of you that are new, all of my things are available. If there is something that you liked and that you would like to purchase, it is available. All of my creations are available. I am going to move this around this way. It's getting there. Make sure you get the edges really good. I normally try to go from the inside out, but I don't do it always. It's getting pretty hot. And the heat from the iron is activating that Mod Podge underneath. And don't use wax paper. It has to be parchment paper. Has anyone ever used the... Hey, Miss Cindy, my friend. Are you filling in for Amanda? Awesome. Hop over and watch and see what Miss Cindy will be creating tonight. She is an ambassador as well. And all I do is I just take my gator center and I just go from the top edge down. Yep. Jump on the essential stencil page after we are done here. And check out Miss Cindy. She always has some fun projects planned. Look at that. Is that not pretty? I will put a coat of Mod Podge over top before I apply that other sealer. And look at that. And see, if you want to, you can even have them like that. Does that not look pretty? So you got different ways to display your coaster. All right, let's go over to our next one. I'm just going to cut that off right here. I save little pieces like that. You can always do a collage or something with them. Not that it matters which way this goes, but I always like to look. The wrinkle will iron out. Get my parchment bag out. And this little Dodo-Dum iron I got off of Amazon. I can't even remember how much it was. It comes with a little stand. It has 3 different settings. Thank you for the hearts, ladies. I just love how coordinating this was. And that's one of the reasons, if we would have painted that white, this would not have been that creamy. It would have been more white. But I think that it fits better with our coasters with the creamy color. That's why I did not paint it. Normally, I would paint the background before I put the napkin on with a color that is complementary or light colors, so that the print or the design on the napkin shows up really well. I'm making sure I'm getting the edges really good. And this is the little stand it comes with. You just sit it in here. I can go ahead and turn that back off. And see, you got enough to do one, and that was just one panel out of this whole napkin. It was a big napkin. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you where I got it from, because I have so many napkins that I've got from exchanges, napkin exchanges. I was in a napkin club at one point, so I don't know where these came from. And see, we have enough to do one more. And then we have a little bit left over. Let's clean that up. Now we got time. I'm going to go ahead and apply a very thin coat of Mod Podge over top. And if it bubbles up with this thin coat, you can lay it back down with heat. But the Mod Podge will seal your napkin in. Uh-oh, I forgot to paint the sides, which is okay. I can get that in just a second. I'll do it offline. I'm not gonna... You know how to paint. I'm just holding it to see if I've got everything. I've got one more side over here that needs a little bit of Mod Podge. And that way this has a protective coat already on here. And then I'm just going to use that bright tone to do my top coat. We'll let that dry. That was a very loud car. Need a little bit more. Do you have any questions about essential stencil, about napkins, about using transfers? How can I help you in your creative process? Are you new to stenciling? Have you used transfers before? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Because I am here to help you. Give you inspiration. And I always say each piece has a story to tell. This napkin may have come out of your mom's stash, or it is a napkin from your best friend. Maybe it is a napkin from somewhere you have been, like if I would have picked a napkin up from Louisiana, and it has a special meaning to you. That will tell a story. It will tell your story. I got it from Amazon. It is Bright Tone High Solids Top Coat Clear Gloss. Water-based, non-yellowing, UV protection, American made, brushable and sprayable. It is an instrument finish, bolt turning, bar tops, and more. I know this is backwards, but that's what it looks like. And it works really good. Miss Renee with Flip Flop Furnishing uses it, and that's where I got the idea from, because she uses it on coasters. And you could put several codes on there. I cannot remember. I think this is 2 codes. And I did a crackle underneath, so if it looks like it's crackled, that's because I've done a crackle finish on here. Now when you apply your heat to this, don't stay on one spot too long, because it will bubble up. If you need to smooth it down, you can just smooth it back down. Because if you use too much heat, it will bubble up on you. And like I said, then I will apply the top coat on here. And I always like to lay them like this, offset. But there you have, I gotta figure out which way I gotta go. I just use the regular Mod Podge. Where is my big bottle of Mod Podge? I just use the regular Mod Podge. I don't know where my big bottle is. I got a big bottle like this. I don't know what possessed me to buy a big bottle like that. I'm never gonna get done using it. I cleaned my room up and don't know where I put stuff. That sound familiar? Yeah, I don't know what I did with it. It's a big old bottle. It's just a regular Mod Podge. It's none of the specialty kind. It is MIA. So you can do it like that. And remember, this is going to have a sheen on it once it is Mod Podged. You can do it like this. I really like that. That looks really, really good together. And there you have all the different sides. See, they just look really good together. And then again, that wall, and I might do a crackle. I might do the fine line crackle on here as well to make it match. I might do that off camera to add that fine line crackle, but I'm not going to have enough time to do that tonight. And here's a close-up. And then here is this one. Don't know if you can see. It's got real fine crackle on here. So I might do a little bit of crackle on here. I know I love that napkin. It is just so pretty. This is how big it was. And I cut that one piece off. That's how big it was. So I can still make lots and lots of other things. It is just a pretty color to go with what we've created before. That is all I have for you this evening. Thank you all for joining. You can see it good. Again, if you want to know how to get to Essential Stencil, !ES, that'll get you over there so you can check out the new Spring and Easter collection. They've done several restocks already, so things are restocked because some things sold out really quick. Like if you do !code, that will give you my code that you can use to get you a discount over at Essential Stencil. And I've posted the links for the little lambs and lilies in the description. And I posted the link that you can go straight to there as well. So if there's anything else. Oh, if you want to be notified. Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. If you want to be notified when I go live, !notify, and it will tell you when I'm live. I started using a box of blessings to strengthen your soul. I want to leave you with a little encouraging word at the end of my lives. And Miss Bonnie reminds me when I forget. This is 1 John 1:5. God is light, and there is no darkness in him at all. God is light, and there is no darkness in him at all. 1 John 1:5. Even in our darkest times, God's light still shines. I forgot how it is worded, but what you see in daylight is still there in the dark. Even if you can't see it, it is still there. And the Lord is the light in your heart. And you need to let him shine through you. So, I know this is backward. But even in our darkest times, God's light still shines. God is light, and there is no darkness in him at all. There is no darkness in the Lord. He is light. He is our light, and we need to shine his light for others. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. If you want to see some more Essential Stencil creations, hop over to the Essential Stencil page, and that is Essential Stencil, and watch Miss Cindy create tonight. She'll be on at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. And I appreciate you guys hopping on. More travel pictures to come and thrift store finds and lots of fun things on the way. We have some fun makeovers to do and just all kinds of goodies coming up. Appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging out with me, and you have a blessed evening, and I will see you. I am not sure. I'm going to try to come on Thursday, but I'm not sure. We have our walkthrough on Thursday with the through the caregiver program, and I'll have to see how that all works out, but I will try to come on, and I'll always come on at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for the hearts. Have a great night, my friends. Appreciate you.